Yo, what's up, people? What's happening? Hope you're having a sick ass Thursday today. We're going to be diving into three easy ways for meal prep. Three easy ways for you guys and girls to meal prep, at least to stick to it without much difficulty, right? Because it often gets a lot complicated for everybody and become complicated. People don't want to do it for too long, right? And that makes sense. Anything that's complicated, people don't want to do too long. So today we're going to talk about three easy ways to meal prep. Okay. So we're going to have this conversation. This is going to be value based. If you don't know how to meal prep, if you struggle with meal prep, all I want for you guys and girls to do is pull out a pad and a pen and just listen. Maybe take some notes. Okay. And if you hear something that you like, you can definitely, watch the replay on YouTube or you can listen to the replay on the podcast. All right. So let me know how your day is going when you join. Let me know how your day is going. I'm just setting up over here and we're gonna get the podcast rolling. All right, let me know how you. Oh, okay. What's good, Facebook? What's good, TikTok? Good, Instagram. What's happening, YouTube? Alan, what's good? He says, hi, bro. I'm good, man. I'm actually gonna get ready for leg day after this. So I'm gonna be probably puking in a couple of hours. So, I mean, we trained that hard on leg day. That's what's up. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna break it down. I'm not gonna hang out too much before and after the live stream. Like I usually hang out a lot. I usually like chill for a bit, and I'm like, oh, let's answer some questions and stuff. But today, unfortunately, I won't have the time because I'm doing extra things today. My schedule was changed a little bit. All right. So we're gonna be diving into the podcast very shortly. If you struggle with meal prep, if you struggle with sticking to eating clean, this is the episode for you. Brittany, what's up? It's been so long. She says, finally free to catch a live. That's my OG YouTube supporter. Hope you're having a wicked ass day, Brittany. We're going to be diving into three easy ways to meal prep. Okay. How I do it as a natural IFBB pro and, pretty much the other methods that I've used along the way. And again, there are three methods. There's no right method in this one, but I want you to pick the method that works best for you. Okay. So, with that out the way, we'll be diving into this podcast episode in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Yo, what's good, meatheads? Hope you're having an amazing day and welcome to another episode of the Meathead on the Mic podcast. It's your host, IFBB Pro Matt Butale, the returning champion, coming at you with another topic. All right. And today we will be talking about three secret ways that I know of, and I'm going to teach you, of course, to make meal prepping easier. All right. There's no right way out of these three ways. You're just going to sort of have to find out or figure out which method works best for you, your schedule, and of course, what you actually prefer to do. All right. But before we dive in, you're welcome to join the Meathead Monsters Club. It's a free Facebook community where you get the opportunity to meet other meatheads like yourself. All right. Also, don't forget to screenshot and share this podcast to your IG story and show support. It would really, really do a lot for me and anybody else that might benefit from this information. Okay. Also, if you wish to reach out to me or see more of my content, you can search for me on Google, Mattbutale. I'm everywhere: Twitter, TikTok, LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, everywhere. I'm everywhere. So you won't miss me. All right. And if you're watching this on YouTube and you aren't already subscribed, hit this up. We already know you're subscribed, Brittany, so it's all good. My OG YouTube supporter there. All right, so let's dive into it. Three easy ways to meal prep. As I said at the start of this podcast episode, there is no right way out of the three methods that I'm going to explain, but there is going to be the best way for you. Okay, so that's what's up. Okay, how I successfully stick to meal prepping. Okay, so I'm an IFBB pro. You already know that, right? I'm a bodybuilder, so I'm going to tell you how I stick to meal prepping. Like out of the three options that I'm going to be giving you, which one that I liked, which one that I use the most, and which one just works best for me. It might be the one for you, it might not be, but there are other options. Okay, so how I successfully stick to meal prepping. It's no secret that meal prep can sometimes be a pain in the ass. Like it's not that hard to do. It's just more annoying to be consistent with, if that makes sense. Like I know you relate with that, right? That's why you're probably listening to this episode. You probably saw the title and you're like, fuck, it's annoying. Let me just find out a better way to do this. So I'm going to, step into that role and tell you guys what I do and what I've done in the past as well. Okay. So today I'll be talking about three different meal prep styles that you can adapt to help yourself become more consistent with your nutrition. All right. So the first out of the three methods that I like to call, this one I like to call honestly the lazy method. And I'm not giving it the lazy method word just because like I think it's lazy. I'm just like, that just makes the most sense because you spend the least time preparing in general. Okay. So the lazy method, quote unquote, is it's a version of meal prepping where like this is literally as easy as it gets. Okay, this is what most people do to stay on track with their goals when it comes to meal prepping. It's super simple and requires minimal steps, to make sure that you're always on track. So how does it work? Easy. You simply cook all of your proteins in bulk and all of your carbs in bulk. So proteins, your beef, your chicken, all that stuff. You cook it all in bulk. Your rice, you cook that all in bulk, have separate containers, and you store that in the fridge. And as you go along your day, you would take out and portion out your meals, okay, as you go through throughout your day, so you're not stuck cooking for hours on end. It's actually quite convenient, right? But if you're someone like me who hates to use the food scale all the time and like continuously like put that bowl in there, then press tear, then measure the rice, then measure the chicken. I personally don't like doing that every day. It's annoying to me, so I don't like to do the lazy method. But it is something that I did in the past. Okay, essentially you portion out your meals throughout the day so you're not stuck cooking for hours on end, and you cook in bulk. Store them in large containers, and that's that. Okay, so when you're running low, you just simply cook more rice in bulk and store it. If you're running low on chicken, cook more of that, pasta, beef, anything, right? Or whatever that you're eating in bulk. You continue to chip away at it in the fridge until it's done. Okay, you just measure it whenever it's time to eat. So your food scale is going to be your best friend. You're always going to see your food scale every day. I don't like that method personally because, as I said, I don't like the food scale. I don't want to always use it. I like food scales, but I don't. It's just too much for me. Believe it or not, I'd rather do more work ahead so that it's easier for me later. And we're going to talk a little bit about that method later on. Okay, so number two, out of the three methods, the three easy ways to make meal prep easy for yourself so you can be super consistent. I call this one the gourmet gainer. This one I actually truly detest. I actually don't like this one at all. Some of you guys and girls might like it. That's on you. So this one is, in my opinion, the most annoying way to meal prep. But for some people, they love it because they just can't stand eating food that wasn't cooked the same day or the same hour. Like if you're one of those people where like you just have to have a fresh meal, like the meal has to be cooked right now, and that's the only way you're going to eat it, then this is the only way that you're really going to do it. And this is the way that most people try to meal prep, and then they realize they don't like doing it simply because it's really time consuming to cook every time you have to eat, right? Especially if you got work, you got kids, you got so many other things, right? So again, this one is really annoying. I don't like doing it, but again, I'm going to tell you because you might be that person. You might like, food that's cooked literally that day. You might be picky, right? This method works by essentially just buying your proteins in bulk, pre-seasoning them raw to marinate, and then like every morning or night, you're going to be cooking. Okay, you're going to cook the night before or the morning of so that you have like something that was fresh that was cooked that day, right? It's going to ensure that whatever you're eating is 100% fresh within the hour, whatever it is. If you like that shit, then that's up to you. Because I personally would hate cooking every day, right? I hate this method because I eat 5 to 7 meals a day, and it would take so much fucking time out of my day to cook. Given that I run a business and like I have the podcast and I go to the gym, I do all these other things in my life. It would just be such a headache. It would make me just really be annoyed with meal prepping if I decided to use this method, but I don't. You might like it because you want fresh meals, and fresh meals keep you, say, adherent to your nutrition protocol because you actually are looking forward to having that hot meal, if that makes sense, right? So, again, that's why. So, what's something that's really important that I recommend you do, and I didn't talk about this yet, but I recommend you do this if you haven't already. Make sure that you only use glass Tupperware, like glass bowls. Okay. Because if you're microwaving bowls all the time and they're plastic, the BPAs leak into the food. And it's nothing to be like incredibly aware of. Like, it's not going to be the end of your world if you eat the BPAs consistently, but it's not good for you, right? These are chemicals that you're consuming on a daily basis. You don't want to do that. Okay. So make sure that all of your containers are glass, especially if you're going to be using the microwave often. Okay. So glass bowls also are really good for sealing out the moisture and keeping meals extremely fresh when you freeze them. Okay. So you cook them immediately, measure them out, freeze them, and they'll stay fresh forever. Glass is just fucking amazing. All of my Tupperware is glass. Also, everything tastes better in glass bowls. Facts. It just does. You can argue with me about it, but I'm not listening to you. This brings me to the last one, guys and girls, which is my favorite method. This is the method that I use and that I've been using for the last 3 years. I think for the last 3 years, I've been using this method that I want to talk to you guys and share, with you today. And this one is called the autopilot. Okay, the autopilot. I'm in love with this method simply because it never made it so easy to stay on track. It just never made it so easy. Like the way it works is this. So you'll cook all your proteins and all your carbs at once. I mean, that's repetitive. We're cooking, of course. And then you weigh and portion out Each glass bowl with your choice of protein, carbs, and whatever else you're going to put. There's some veggies and things like that. Whatever it is, rice, chicken, potatoes, fish, pasta, anything, beef, and then you store it in the fridge or the freezer. So personally, I use like 35 glass bowls and weigh out each bowl immediately after I cook my meals to ensure freshness and to seal out the moisture when I do store it. And this lasts me about like 7 days. Okay, so 4 hours of cooking and measuring 7 days worth of pre-calculated meals so that I could have 5 meals per day from what I just cooked. And then I'll have a breakfast on top of that and maybe a meal at the end. And then it's easily 6 meals. All I got to do is make breakfast and probably have like a protein shake and a sandwich at night. And I don't have to worry about cooking the bulk of my nutrition for 7 days because I use a freezer. Okay. It makes life so easy because I know the macros of each bowl without even having to think about it. Like I don't have to pull out the food scale every single day because I already know what it weighs because I weighed it on that day. Right. So, and when it's time to eat, I just pop it in the microwave and I fucking jet. Like, and it's amazing for people that are on the fly. It's amazing for people that are up and about and everywhere and super busy because you just dedicate one day to cooking and then you're set up for the week. It's batch cooking, but made exponentially better because you're not even measuring, uh, consistently like you would have to if you were to do the lazy method, right? If you had the lazy method, you have to, keep portioning it out and measuring it as you go. But with the autopilot method, it's literally in the term. It's autopilot. It's in the fridge. Pull it up, microwave it, eat it, wash the bowl, cut. That's it. If you're on the fly, you're about to go somewhere, make a big drive or something like that. You don't have to worry about bringing all these meals with you or this entire Tupperware with you. You just take what you need and you leave. Simple. It's easy. Autopilot is the best way. I love this method. It's something that I've been doing for the last like 3 years, and it made my process so easy. Because like if I'm on the fly, I just grab my meals and go. I don't have to worry about measuring anything. I know how much it weighs, what exactly is inside, the contents that are in there for the macros. Again, I cook once every 7 days and never see my food scale unless I'm weighing egg whites for breakfast or making oats, which is such a relief for me, honestly. The only con is that it's just like everything else. It's a lot of cooking at once. And if you want to have diverse meals, if you like don't want to eat the same thing all the time, then you're gonna have to learn how to multitask and cook 3 to 4 things at the same time if you want to finish in under 4 hours. Okay, so it's a lot of work. Normally what I would do is I throw rice on in the rice cooker, and then I'd have my pressure cooker with chicken breasts in there cooking, and then I'd be on the stovetop frying up some ground turkey. And then right after the ground turkey is done, I would put some ground beef in there and then make some pasta sauce, and then I use that for like the pasta, right? So I have 5 meals a day, and it looks like so, or not 5 meals a day, but out of those meals that I'm prepping, right, it gives me 5 meals every day for 7 days. So I'll have a chicken meal to start the day, a ground turkey meal to start the day, another, or sorry, yeah, ground turkey meal after that, and then I'll have a chicken meal after that, and then I'll have a pasta meal after that, and then I'll have another ground turkey meal. I just pick what I like. Sometimes I factor in fish, especially when I'm competing. So I'd like to switch out one of the turkey meals with fish, but it's pretty diverse for me. I do rice and then whatever, source of protein. So I'm not only eating rice and chicken. I'm not only eating rice and turkey. I'm not only eating rice and fish. Every meal is different. I literally even incorporate pasta in there. And honestly, there's a little trick that I use for my pasta that I'll show you guys later on. Definitely in a YouTube video because it would be hard to explain. You're gonna definitely need to see the visual on that. So I'm gonna have to record that and show you guys how I make my pasta and how convenient it is for me. Okay. Also, you kind of need to be good at math for the autopilot method. Not great. You don't have to be Einstein, but you got to be good. You got to know how much raw food you need in order to cook and measure it accurately when it's cooked so that if you're prepping for days in advance and you're measuring each and every single bowl, when you're at the grocery store, you know how much to buy in order to fill X amount of bowls, so that you don't end up cooking and then fuck, you realize you don't have enough. Right. So it's going to take some trial and error and things of that sort. But once you get, into the rhythm of it, it's super easy, and you're gonna be so grateful that you did that. All right. So all you need is a pressure cooker, a rice cooker, oven, and a stovetop. And if you want it to be less done in less than 4 hours and have like different meals every day, you have to learn how to chef it up quickly and multitask, right? Because measuring is a pain in the ass. Like when I'm measuring in autopilot mode, I'd have like all the 35 bowls on the table and measuring rice, 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 and then chicken, 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 and then turkey, turkey. So it's like it gets tedious, but I always think to myself, it's better that I do this now than fucking later and every single day of the week, right? So it saves me time every single day of the week by sacrificing time that day. And also, it's not that bad if you just pop in your headphones, listen to your favorite music and start singing and just go on about your day when you're meal prepping. That's what I do. I personally would just listen to Michael Jackson and just chef away, hustle, right? And I always look at the time to just try to beat the last time so that it just feels better for me. Like I'm not in the kitchen for so long, and it just feels better to me that way. All right. So again, I've used this method for all of my preps since 2017. So oh fuck, it's almost been like 5 years, and I've never looked back. Right. So let's do a quick recap. Do a little quick recap here for those of you guys and girls that stuck around to listen. All right. So 3 easy ways to meal prep. Right. Again, pick the one that works best for you. Cool. Number one, the lazy method. Lazy method, you cook everything in bulk and you measure throughout your day as you go. Number two, the gourmet gainer, right? You have to have your fresh meals every single day. So you'll marinate your meats at night, your proteins, and then cook them at night, or you'll cook them in the morning, but you're cooking pretty much every day. That's a gourmet gainer, right? And you're also using the food scale every day to make sure that you're, eating what you have to eat and you're not going off with your portions. And number three, last but not least, of course, it's the best for last. It's my very favorite one, the autopilot, where you do everything all on one day, all the cooking, all the measuring, all the portioning, and you store it in the fridge or the freezer, and you just take it as you go throughout the week. All right. So out of those 3 methods, let me know which one works for you. Shoot me a DM or just honestly try it out and then let me know. All right. So it's time for you to take action. Pick one of these 3 methods that you can actually implement to make your meal prep a little bit easier and your fitness journey a little bit more easy. Okay. You want this to be, you want to pick a method that it feels like it's right for you. Honestly, I don't want you to pick the autopilot just because I do it, because you might just get annoyed with like going to the grocery store, buying a bunch of meat and all that stuff, and then you come home, you cook it, and then it's like not enough for all the bowls, and you got to go back and all that, and you got to find a rhythm. Honestly, it gets annoying. I could give you the numbers over the mic over here, but you're probably not going to be eating as much chicken or ground turkey as me or beef, so I'm just not going to do that. So it's again, it's up to you. Pick what you like best. Pick what you think is going to work for you. Okay. I hope I was able to deliver a valuable experience to you guys and girls today. Thank you so much for your time and attention. All right. Feel free to DM me anytime if you have a question. I will not be monetizing this podcast because I respect your time and I just want you to get the value straight up. All right. If you are watching this, if you like this, if you got value, screenshot it, share it to your story. Let them know where you heard this information on the Meathead on the Mic podcast. Let's embrace your Meathead. What the flip? Someone give me a weird comment on TikTok. Let's fuck that. Let's embrace your Meathead mentality together. All right. It's been nice chatting. Hope you like what today's topic was about. Natural IFBB Pro Matt Vitalik signing out. Boom. Cool. What the fuck was this? I like eating. Okay, that's not as bad as I thought it was. Sick. I like eating glass. Get rid of the G and oh my god, that's what it was. It was bad. What's wrong with you guys? TikTok is just mad. Anyway, people, what's up, yo? I appreciate everybody that joined. Honestly, shout out to everybody. I won't be taking questions. It's 12:20. I got the jet. I got to go hit legs. Got to eat, and I'm on the fly today. So I appreciate each and every single one of you that tuned in today. We will be back again tomorrow, 12 p.m. EST, for another episode. You know what time it is, people. We are out. Boom.